One country and a world of enterprise and opportunity. 15 finalists battle for 6 prestigious awards. Proudly sponsored by Robert Walters, SAP, EcoVadis. One winner will take out the Supreme Award. Brought to you by our platinum sponsor, Evalua. These are the New Zealand Procurement Excellence Awards for 2023.
All right, here we go. Our first award is for Emerging Procurement Talent, and that's sponsored by Augment.
Now, Augment puts people first. It's an award-winning practitioner-led procurement and supply chain organisation specialising in talent acquisition, consulting services and graduate programmes.
So now it's time to meet the finalists.
Hi, I'm Joseph. I'm a procurement specialist at EQC.
Hi, I'm Olivia Portman. I'm a chapter member in the non-trade procurement team at the Warehouse Group.
Kia ora, I'm James Parks, the Sustainable Procurement Specialist at Auckland Transport.
The Emerging Talent nominees. We started off by asking Joseph how he got into procurement.
So I have a bit of a weird background when it comes to that. I have a degree in genetics and zoology. So I kind of got to the end of my time at university and started looking at what jobs I wanted to do and realised that the careers in science were a bit boring and not quite what I really wanted in a job. You really work till you're 80 as a researcher and then die. It's a little bit grim. So I started looking at kind of alternatives, and I did a thing called Ignite Consulting in my last year at uni, which is a student-run consultancy. And through that, I went, actually, this is the type of work that I'm interested in, something a bit more project-based with a bit more of a commercial kind of aspect to it. So I started looking at all my different options in that space, applied for a few kind of consulting jobs, and came across the MBIE procurement grad program. Applied for that, got into that a year after university, and it kind of started me in procurement. It's the ideal career for what I'm after. It has a really good degree of flexibility. It's a job that you can do pretty much anywhere. I was recently looking at potentially moving overseas, and you can get jobs in any kind of major city working in procurement, and there's a lot of really interesting things that you can do if you look around. Best part of the job, I think, is the flexibility. I personally find that procurement has a stylistic aspect to it, beyond the kind of core processes and things that you have to do, and being able to apply my own style to procurement and do it the way that I think is the best way to do it has been really great for me.
Next up, Olivia Portman. And Emerging Talent brings new and agile ways of doing business.
We have flipped the way that we do business. So instead of, planning a full year in advance and sticking to those strategic plans, we plan in what we call super sprints, so 3-month blocks of time, and we set out goals or, in our case, contracts that we're aiming to close off or help the business manage within a super sprint, and it just helps keep everyone accountable. We also set what's called OKRs, or think of them like KPIs that we want to achieve for that period in time. You're involved in so many different conversations day to day. You engage with a lot of different people. You're helping manage risk, which the former banker in me does get excited about successfully managing risks. But yeah, you get to do some really neat stuff. I've had the privilege of, one of my categories is fleet, and so I've had the privilege of testing out different electric trucks to see how we can decarbonise our last mile deliveries, for example. So you get exposed to different technologies, different ways of working, different people, and you're constantly being challenged, and some people might not enjoy that, but it's one of the reasons I get up out of bed each morning.
We asked James Parks about the pathway into procurement. Is it an attractive option for young people?
It's very interesting you say that. I think I see less and less young people coming into procurement. Maybe there isn't the awareness of what procurement is and what it delivers as a function. Although I've found personally that it's a very exciting space, and so I would like to see maybe more engagement and more awareness being brought to procurement. The impacts that we can drive through procurement, through the socioeconomic outcomes, through modern slavery, through our ethical sourcing, and through environment practices, I think we've got a lot of impact we can make in procurement, and I think that's kind of where it's all heading. Absolutely. For me, the most exciting part is seeing the outcomes once the product's delivered successfully, and in particular the sustainable procurement aspects of that. So whether we engage with a supplier and we grow their business, or we engage with them in a meaningful way where they can hire new staff for quality employment, or they are able to develop onto a new project of ours after an initial contract, or maybe it's an ethical sourcing project and we deliver a successful audit. Those are the areas that really make me happy. Yeah.
So who's it going to be? Joseph Gannon at EQC, Olivia Portman at the Warehouse Group, or James Parks at AT? Let's find out.
And the winner for Emerging Procurement Talent is James Parks. Come on up, James.
Now presenting the award, Augment's Managing Director Mike Blanchard. Here comes James. Now James is with AT, Auckland Transport, and it's his first time participating in these awards.
All right, James, I get to ask you a question. So you said in your interview and on the video there that you don't see that many young people coming into the industry. What do you think you could do about that? How could you change that going forward?
Well, I've been talking to a lot of mates actually about this, particularly because we don't see it, going through school. But my first, engagement for procurement was actually with a person for sustainability, and it was as soon as I was aware of procurement, I think I was then, found out the value of procurement and the impact you can provide through the supply chain. And hopefully that will, be shared, I guess, across our industry. But for me, it's how do you bring value and where does, I guess, where do you, what's the question? What's the word? How do you bring value, I guess? Hope that makes sense.
It does, and I think if you go and share your win tonight on social media, that will have a ripple effect and talk to young people. Congratulations and well done on being the Procurement Emerging Talent Award for 2023. Next up, it's the Social Impact Award sponsored by Akina.
Akina is working. There you go, the Akina supporters. Akina is working to create a world where positive social and environmental outcomes are simply part of doing business. Social procurement is increasingly viewed as best practice, offering an innovative approach to produce better outcomes both economically and socially.
Now we are going to meet 3 representatives of the companies recognised in this category. But first, I'll tell you a little bit more about those companies and the projects. The first up is the Ministry of Education for the Manurewa High School project, a pilot scheme focused on delivering broader outcomes in the school property space. Then we'll hear about Hua Hapori, the City Rail Link project, and how they've focused on delivering better social outcomes. And finally, we'll hear from WSP New Zealand Limited, who'll tell us about their new initiative, The Road to Supplier Success. So let's meet the 3 interviewees.
Kia ora, I'm Kim Perry. I'm the Senior Procurement Specialist in Direct, WSP New Zealand.
Tarofa lava, my name is Junior Ioane. I'm the Lead Advisor on Broader Outcomes at the Ministry of Education.
Kia ora, I'm Carolyn Cox, Sustainability Manager at City Rail Link.
And those are the 3 finalists in the social impact category. Kim Perry on what WSP's pathway is for affecting social impact.
So WSP developed a 3-year plan for a supply diversity roadmap. It aims to embed diverse suppliers into WSP over those 3 years. They're minority suppliers, so they can be Pacific Island, Maori, they can be women-owned businesses, smaller businesses, those that need just that little bit more help to come into the big corporate world and work for people like WSP. So when we're doing roading up far north and we're using suppliers, the money that we're paying those suppliers goes back into the community up north and makes us, it's better for the community and for us, I think. I don't know if we do it to feel good. I think we do it because it should be our obligation to do it. It's our social obligation to do it. I think in the past, and probably 10, 15 years ago, suppliers worked for us. Now they work with us, and I think that makes such a difference to procurement.
Next, how does the Ministry of Education deliver broader outcomes to attain real social impact?
Some of the wins were they helped supported the school in building their new greenhouse. There was the provision of surplus materials to the school. The school had their own trades academy, so they were part of that build program. I think it was over 2 years. And at the end of the build, the contractor were able to award 2 scholarships to 2 promising students who were looking to further their career in the construction sector. For a lot of businesses today, it's just become part of how they operate. I think there's off the back of a lot of awareness and off the back of a better understanding of the impact of delivering broader social outcomes. I think there's a lot more engagement and businesses are a lot more receptive to delivering social outcomes as part of their business.
Carolyn Cox at City Rail explains how they've embraced diversity in every aspect of their contractor engagement.
So for Maori and Pacifica businesses, breaking into those bigger contracts is a real game changer, and we've gone through a really positive process in identifying and then engaging those businesses so that we can help get them involved in projects like this. We're actively identifying the businesses and inviting them to participate in the tenders. So we're not inviting everyone, we're working closely with Amatai to identify the businesses that have the types of skills and capability and capacity that we need for the project. When you're doing a bid on a tender for the first time, it can be quite intimidating. So by actually inviting them and drawing them into the process, and often with the bigger ones, we're hosting briefings on it. It just gives them an opportunity to connect with us face to face rather than just online and in an online platform. So again, that's another way that we're helping to break down some of those barriers.
Who's it going to be? Kim Perry and WSP? Ginny Leone at the Ministry of Education, or Carolyn Cox at City Rail? Over to you, Susie.
Okay, and the winner for the social impact of the year is City Rail Link.
Now, to present this award, the sponsor, Akina's Director of Social Procurement, Amanda Butterworth. The City Rail Link is a 50-50 partnership between central government and the Auckland Council, and it's this country's biggest infrastructure project to date. It was first mooted, though, in 1924, almost 100 years ago. Now, accepting the award, we'll meet her for the first time, it's Berenice Peter.
Kia ora, Berenice. Welcome. You're coming to accept the award and you've got some followers. Okay. Come on up and please accept your award. Congratulations. Kia ora. And welcome, City Rail Link team. Come on up. Great. I'm going to ask Berenice, look, the area of social procurement, many may have thought that it comes under sort of the HR remit for companies, but recognising social or societal responsibility is increasingly prevalent in procurement, isn't it? So how do you get it right? And when you get it right, it must be very rewarding.
You have intention. You be very intentional about engaging Māori and Pacifica businesses. You set that as an intention and you do it.
It's simple, but it's true, right? Would anybody else like to say anything? Since you're all up here. No? I could interview each of you, but that might take too long. So congratulations, City Rail Link. Well done. Thank you. Kia ora. Now, in every category, except for the individual awards, we always hear from our nominees that it's not about them, it's about the team. And that's why we have a very special category for Team of the Year, proudly sponsored by iValua.
iValua is a leader recognised by Gartner with their source-to-pay suite leveraged by over 500 leading companies across the globe, managing over $800 billion in direct and indirect spend.
So let's hear from those three interviewees who are representing Xero Procurement for Xero Limited, Somerset Construction for Somerset Group Holdings Limited, and the Te Oreka project at Te Hahu o Te Turi, the Ministry of Justice. Here they are.
Hi, I'm Martin Langos and I'm the Procurement Operations Manager at Xero.
Kia ora, I'm Victoria McLaughlin, the Deputy Secretary Te Oreka at the Ministry of Justice.
Hi, good evening. I'm Chris Anderson, the Head of Procurement for Somerset Group Holdings Limited.
Our three team nominees. Leading the procurement team at a tech company like Xero, what you'll always hear is, it's all about the data.
In operations, what myself and my team are doing is we're looking after a big part of our procurement technology that we use at Xero, but also the data, which is a key aspect of the role. So managing data, improving data is really key. But also we work on very interesting and initiatives across the business really to mature the function, the procurement function at Xero that involves risk management, but also sustainability and ESG. As a team, as a procurement team, we are based in predominantly in New Zealand, Wellington and Auckland, but also now in Australia and in Melbourne. But we provide a procurement service for all our colleagues across the world, right? So that includes our colleagues in Singapore, the UK, the US, Canada, and also through newly acquired companies in Central and Northern Europe. And I think Xero has now close to 4 million customers. I think there are not many software companies who have that many customers, I think, and the growth continues, yeah.
Leading the procurement team on a massive digital project like this must have brought its very real challenges. Victoria McLaughlin.
So Te Oreka is being done in partnership with the judiciary, and it's actually a very important aspect of Te Oreka. The judiciary actually controls the court and the court information. We don't. So fundamentally, we provide a service to the judiciary and to New Zealanders. And therefore, we've actually partnered together to deliver Te Oreka. And this is the first procurement ever that's actually involved the judiciary. The commitment from the Chief Justice, from the Secretary for Justice here at the Ministry, has been huge to get us to this point. Te Oreka, yes, it's digital, but it's about changing how the court runs. So we needed people who were specialists in the court. We needed also people who were specialists in change management and process design, as well as digital, and also the judiciary themselves. So it was actually over 60 people involved in the procurement process, in the evaluation panels, the specialist advisors, the procurement team. So it was truly multidisciplined, and a team that was open to be really creative and think differently about how to approach this procurement. A lot of people gave a lot more heart into this process than you may normally see within a project or procurement, because people truly knew its importance to New Zealand. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make a huge impact into New Zealanders' lives.
Well, to find out exactly what everyone in the Somerset team does, who better to ask than Chris Anderson?
We have quite a mixture in our team. We have 2 or 3 people who you would arguably say are time-served procurement professionals who are, MSIPs qualified and have been working in varying different procurement functions, where there's that public and private sector for a few years. We have a highly skilled analyst in our team who came from a non-procurement function but very skilled. We have a licensed building practitioner who came off the tools effectively into our team, who works in that innovation space and brings all those building smarts to us. We have a couple of ladies in the team, one who is focused on the fit out, so a very skilled person at managing those highly condensed, from a time point of view, I think it's about 13 or 14,000 items that has to be received and placed in 3 weeks. So we have 2 people who work in that space who have come from more of a project management, fit out, furniture manufacturing background. So they're sort of specialists in that particular area. So yeah, it's quite a mixture, all under the umbrella of procurement.
Who's it going to be? Martin Langos at Xero? Victoria McLaughlin at the Ministry of Justice? Or Chris Anderson at Somerset? Here we go.
Here we go. The winner for the most effective team of the year is Te Tahu o Te Ture, the Ministry of Justice.
And presenting the Team Award from our sponsor, Evalua, Head of Sales for Australia and New Zealand, Niraj Chabra. Now, each of our nominees and winners tonight also receives a certificate. But in the spirit of this award, we thought about dispensing with a certificate and just sending a digital advice. But that idea was judged unfair. Judged? Did you see what I did there? Maybe you didn't. Back to you, Susie.
Congratulations to you and all of the team. Now, this is a massive project, isn't it? I mean, from the video it was obvious there, but no other country in the world has endeavoured to take their whole justice system into the digital realm. It's a big project. And how big is the team on it?
There's about going to be 140 people directly involved, and then there's a huge range of people from the courts, profession, judiciary who are involved wider than that.
So a great group to get together. And in your interview, you used an interesting analogy, I believe. Would you like to share that with us?
So we were talking about access to justice and why Te Areka would matter to people. And one of the things we discussed was the idea that at the moment you can actually track your pizza, but you have no idea what's happening to your court case in our justice system.
Very good.
That was the analogy. If you can track your pizza, you better be able to track what's happening in a really important part of your life and your community.
Fair enough. Kia ora. Well done, and congratulations to you and the team. Well won. Well, a team needs a leader, right? And that's the person who attracts great people and knows how to hold them together. Which brings me very neatly to our next award, which is the Leadership in Procurement Award, sponsored by Somerset.
Somerset Group Holdings were formed on a deep respect for people and a strong belief that always put residents at the heart of everything they do. Their purpose is to bring the best of life to all of their residents.
Vying for the award, 2 very worthy nominees, so let's meet them now.
Hi, I'm Mary Heath, Chapter Lead Non-Trade Procurement at the Warehouse Group.
Kia ora, I'm Claire McCarthy, Sustainable Outcomes Lead at Height Project Management.
These 2 are the winner and runner-up in leadership. But who's who? We'll find out soon. First, I asked Mary, how easy is it to find great team members?
Very good question, and a question that I love to ask when I'm interviewing people. Did you find procurement, or did procurement find you? For most answers, it's procurement found them. It certainly was for me. And when procurement's a skill set, and so what I've successfully done recently is actually not had traditional procurement people come and join the team, but I've looked at the skills involved, and we've had 2 sales and operations people who's come and joined the team. Now their skill sets are very complementary to the role of procurement, and it's just a little bit of tweaking that and guidance that I've had to give on how to run procurement practices, but their mindsets and their capability has been amazing and has been an absolute success for our team.
Working with Maori and Pacifica businesses, I asked Claire McCarthy if a change in government might affect Height's fortune.
So the issues that our country's faced economically and socially didn't just emerge in the last 6 years. These are long-standing issues that have built up and which successive governments have tried to address in different ways. I think the great thing about procurement spend is the government is spending it anyway, so we need to maximise the value of that spend to address the things that are really important still and remain massively important issues for our country and for our planet. And so even though governments do change. I think this is investing in business and commercial relationships that are equitable and sustainable is such a positive thing for any government to get behind. We've worked with over 100 businesses through our Capability Uplift program. They've won more than $35 million worth of contracts in the last 2 years. And since they've come through our program and had that wraparound support, they will be able to take those skills they've learnt and the connections that they've made and continue to develop their business and grow and take on bigger contracts in the future.
Is it going to be Mary Heath at the Warehouse Group or Claire McCarthy at Height? It's time to find out.
Thank you. And the winner for leadership in procurement tonight is Claire McCarthy.
Now, presenting the award to Claire is the GM for construction at our sponsor Somerset, David Talentire. It's Claire's first time entering these awards. Height is a 100% Māori-owned business, and they're dedicated and invested in raising the bar in regard to bringing Māori and Pacifica-owned businesses to the forefront in regard to consideration during procurement.
Well, congratulations, Claire. And look, in watching your full interview, there were some interesting stats, aren't there, on the Māori and Pacifica businesses gaining contracts when set against the makeup of our population. How do you think we can improve on those, do you think?
Yeah, so 1.8% of the value of the government supply chain goes to Māori businesses, even though they are 18% of our population. So all of the work that the people in this room do with the billions and billions of dollars of government procurement spend can be leveraged to make sure we're giving opportunities to those people who've been underrepresented for so long.
Awesome. Well, thank you and congratulations on your win tonight and to Height. Well done. Cheers. We've got 3 more awards, 2 category awards and the Supreme Award. Let's give our attention to those nervous finalists who are waiting to hear. So we are going to move swiftly along to the Environmental Impact of the Year Award, sponsored by Grant Thornton.
Indeed, Grant Thornton is one of the world's leading organisations of independent assurance, tax and advisory firms, and this also includes sustainability advisory.
Now, there are 3 projects and companies in the running, and they are City Rail Link, the Genesis Pond Ash Team, Genesis Energy, hey, that's the back table, and the Lodestone Project, the Warehouse Group. So let's meet the let's meet the 3 people representing those projects tonight. Take it away.
Kia ora, I'm Nick Braxton. I'm the Principal Sustainability Advisor on the City Rail Link project.
Hi, I'm Olivia Portman. I'm a chapter member in the non-trade procurement team at the Warehouse Group.
Hi, I'm Rob Rope, Procurement Manager Site Services for Genesis Energy.
The nominees in the Environmental Impact Award. Now, creating an impact was always going to be the challenge for the City Rail Link.
Building something the size of the City Rail Link project has a massive environmental impact. We use huge amounts of concrete, steel, produce lots of waste, transport lots of spoil all over the place. We've dug out about 1.7 million tonnes of spoil, and we have to transport that. That's about half of the carbon footprint of the construction footprint. And so we really focus on really trying to minimise the amount of fuel that we'd need to do that and work out where it would go and where it would be most beneficial. We've used about 230,000 cubic metres of concrete. That's when you think a concrete truck is about 5 cubic metres, there's nearly 50,000 truckloads of concrete. Concrete has a massive carbon footprint. On a global scale, about 8% of global greenhouse gas emissions are from making cement. So we've really focused on minimising the amount of cement we've used in our concrete, even though we're using an awful lot. So we've replaced it with a waste product called fly ash from coal-fired power stations, and we've reduced our footprint of our concrete by 21%. I think we've done a good job. I'm hoping that the next big project that comes along will do a better job. It's not enough. We're in a climate crisis. We have to do everything we can. So what we've done is a good start, but we need to do much more. And I'm certainly hopeful that the lessons learned on this project and other projects will mean that the next big project does even better than we did.
We asked Olivia Portman from the Warehouse Group, what is the Lodestone project and what's it all about?
We've partnered with Lodestone Energy, who are constructing solar farms around the country, and we've created a 20-year partnership that will see all of our stores transition to using solar electricity to power the store. But also because of this partnership, Lodestone's been able to secure funding and create renewable energy within New Zealand. And that's one of Sir Stephen Tyndall's, our founder's, goals. And it also aligns to the wider TWG principle of doing good and making sustainable living accessible and affordable for all Kiwis. Sustainability is kind of at the core of what all of our business looks to achieve. So regardless of what team you're in, there is a sustainability goal or streams of work that each team is working to do good and fit into our overarching principle of making sustainable living easy and affordable for all Kiwis. So regardless if you're in the sourcing team, our technology teams, or our procurement team, we're all aspiring to do our bit and contribute to that goal.
Rob Rope from Genesis Energy is up next, and you're about to learn what pond ash is all about.
Pond ash is a production of, or a result of burning coal to produce energy. When you burn coal, it forms two forms of ash. One's fly ash, which is the light stuff. Typically in your fire at home will go up the chimney, and bottom ash, which then is flushed to the ponds, is the heavy stuff at the bottom that just doesn't float or float in the air, and so that is hydraulically conveyed down to our ponds to settle out, and historically would be, or currently is, excavated out, drained, and then historically taken to backfill mines or into landfill itself. Solutions don't pop up overnight. The disposal solution for ash has been something that's been considered for nearly half my life, if not longer, to be honest. And I know there'd been some good work the 10 years prior to me playing in this patch, or me and the team, I should say, playing in this patch, and it would just happen to be there's been a change in the world around trying to find solutions for things that historically would have just been just throw it in the ground. Ultimately, while putting a number of options to bed, we actually partnered with Golden Bay Cement, division of Fletchers, and they're using that as a raw material to produce cement. So the fly ash that previously has been taken sustainably is used as a cement replacement in concrete products, whereas the pond ash had no use. And challenging our incumbent, Golden Bay, to find a solution, they identified that they could actually use it as a raw material to offset one of the base raw materials in the kiln, which then produces clinker, which is then ground to produce cement.
This is a tough one, and I hear it was close. So is it Nick Braxton at the City Rail Link, Olivia Portman of the Warehouse Group with the Lodestone project, or Rob Rope at Genesis Energy? Susie, you've got the results.
I do. And the winner for the environmental impact of the year is the City Rail Link.
Now presenting this award, Stephen O'Donohoe and Rob Silver, the Consulting Manager and Senior Manager Procurement and Supply Chain for our sponsor Grant Thornton. And accepting the award, Nick Braxton. And Susie, you've got to ask him, did he come by train tonight? Because Britomart is actually only just a short walk away. Here he is, Nick Braxton.
Come on over. I'm actually not going to ask you if you came by train. But look, 50,000 tonnes of spoil, or truckloads of spoil. Where did you put it all?
The spoil is a massive challenge. We took it to a few different places. One of the places we're really pleased that we were able to arrange for it to go was to Woodhill, where the iwi there own the land there, and they're using it to help bring income for the iwi. So we were able to take a lot of our tunnel boring spoil there to that spot. So that was a really great outcome for us because we needed to put it somewhere. It was a great outcome for them because they could earn revenue from that. So it was
a win-win. So now it does seem like a long project. So when will we actually getting on the trains? Just to cut right to it. You know, I like to go straight for the jugular. So when will we on the train?
Fair question. It's been a long project. I've worked on it for 8 years. It's been awesome. 2026 is the likely time you'll be able to get a ticket and hop on.
That's cool. That's not far away.
We're nearly there. It feels like it's done. We've dug all the holes. We've got the tunnels. The tracks are going in. Just a matter of getting it all nice for everyone to ride safely.
All right. So I'll offer you a date at my local train station. I'll meet you on the platform at Mount Eden. How about that? You up for that? Hey, okay, all right. Congratulations to the City Rail Link project. Well done. You've got another photo to have taken. You go that way if you can.
Can I just say thank you to the... I actually don't work in procurement. I'm a sustainability person, but...
What? Do we want him here? Of course we do.
Imposter syndrome. But I really want to thank the procurement team who've done an amazing job in making sure that the goals that we had right at the start of the project have gone all the way through the supply chain. It's a massively strong tool to deal with the climate crisis we've got. We need to be doing that across that supply chain. So awesome, thank you.
Well done, and congratulations to all of you. Awesome effort. All right, well, there is just one more award before we find out who is taking out this year's Supreme Award. And remember, each of tonight's award winners is in the running for the Supreme Award, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. The final category tonight is for transformation.
Now, for over a decade, Deloitte has been working with organisations to help them transform their procurement, delivering growth through people, process and technological innovation. With a growing focus on world-class procurement, Deloitte is excited to be sponsoring this award.
And here are the details of our two finalists, Somerset Construction Procurement, and they're basically the very, very definition of transformation because they didn't actually have a dedicated procurement team until recently. So it was a radical restructure. And Te Oreka, which is the project being undertaken by Te Tahu o Te Ture, the Ministry of Justice, which involves the entire court system, as you've heard, going paperless. So to tell us more, let's meet our final two nominees, both who are up for the second time tonight.
Kia ora, I'm Victoria McLaughlin, the Deputy Secretary Te Aureka at the Ministry of Justice.
Hi, good evening. I'm Chris Anderson, the Head of Procurement for Somerset Group Holdings Limited.
Those are our two transformative finalists, and this project is perhaps the very definition of transformation. Victoria McLaughlin.
It's a transformation for our courts and tribunals, moving them away from being very much paper-based to an environment that is digital and allows people to interact and access justice in a completely different way than they do right now. And we needed a transformation or sort of procurement approach that actually represented the very change that we're wanting to make. So we wanted to construct a procurement process that enabled us to test things along the way in deeper and deeper ways. And we needed to do it at speed. So we had about 9 months to do the whole procurement process over. And right at the end, we got to two suppliers who went for an intensive induction with us, the two last vendors. And in that induction, they got to experience the court, they spent time with the judiciary, they did a whole series of demonstrations to us, they did workshops, and then they had to revisit their whole RFP and give us an updated response based on everything that they learnt.
Somerset's procurement transformation couldn't really be more obvious, as there simply wasn't a dedicated procurement team there before.
My function was created in early 2020. Then we had the minor distraction of COVID that came along. And initially our focus was to maintain supply to ensure that we could continue to build. But we were also I was also charged with building a procurement function that could leverage off our size, off our repeatability, and bring some strategic planning to how we build our villages, which can be as much as $500 million projects, and to look at understanding where the risks and opportunities might be for us in the supply base. So over a period of a couple of years, we've gone from no procurement function to a procurement function which is highly affected, embedded in the organisation, and driving value across many different facets.
2 terrific transformations, but there can only be one winner. Is it Victoria McLaughlin at the Ministry of Justice or Chris Anderson at Somerset? We are about to find out.
Yes, we are. And the winner for Transformation of the Year is Te Tahu o Te Ture, the Ministry of Justice.
Now presenting the award from Deloitte, consulting partner Paul Shallard. And this is the second win tonight for Te Reka and Te Tahu o Te Ture, the Ministry of Justice, and accepting the award, once again, Victoria McLaughlin.
Right, this must be very satisfying. Yes, and when is this digital transformation actually clicking over and going live? And will it be one court at a time, or a region at a time, or a big bang? How does it work?
It goes from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, and we start in the family court, so with our most vulnerable people in our communities.
Good choice. And then how long will the project take to roll out?
We're looking about 5 years to get through all the jurisdictions, but yeah, starting in family, moving into criminal, and then into our specialist jurisdictions.
Well, you've got a great job ahead of you, as well as the job that's led you to be here. So congratulations to all of you. Well done on the great award tonight for transformation. I'd now like to say a special thank you to all of our judges for all of their expertise, their hard work, their selection. And as I call out their names, I'd like them to please stand up at their tables. So first of all, we have Adrian Cleland, Deputy Vice-Chancellor at the University of Auckland. Ian Palliser, founder at Paizo Consulting. Ian, thank you. Michael Boggs, Chief Executive of NZME. Paul Stocks, Deputy Chief Executive at MB. Tanya Pofare, founder and strategic advisor at Amotai. Thank you to all of our judges. Without you, we just simply wouldn't have winners, so thank you so much. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge all of our sponsors. You've already heard about our individual award sponsors, and this year we're very pleased to welcome 3 gold sponsors, being Robert Walters, SAP and EcoVadis.
Intelligent spend management. Make faster decisions. Elevate intelligent outcomes. Achieve connected collaboration. Now that's intelligence end to end. Faster visibility to inform decisions. Intelligent capabilities for focused growth. Connected partners for collaborative commerce. How will you make your spend more intelligent? The best run, SAP.
all companies today have an interest in sustainability. EcoVadis is the world's most trusted provider of business sustainability ratings and is helping companies of all sizes and industries to benchmark and drive improvements. Join the EcoVadis network today and start driving real change for your business, your supply chain, and the world we share.
We're delighted that our new platinum sponsor is iValuer.
iValuer's complete, unified spend and supplier management platform enables organizations to achieve today's objectives while future-proofing procurement for tomorrow. That's because we don't just provide you with a tool, but the foundation for strategically managing your spend and suppliers. A truly unified platform simplifies procurement so you can easily activate capabilities as you need them. Drive rapid, broad adoption by suppliers and users who can easily find all the information and products they need. Maximize savings and efficiency by managing all of your suppliers and spend categories in one system. Gain complete transparency with a single source of truth for all supplier information to ensure resilience and compliance and improve sustainability. Start with industry best practices, but don't be limited by them. Our no-code, low-code platform gives you the agility to respond quickly as your business or market conditions evolve, all from a proven leader with the experience and dependability you can count on. One that cares about our customers, our employees, and our impact on the world. Trusted by hundreds of the world's most admired brands. So, turn your supply chain into a competitive advantage with iValuer.
Right, here we go. It is almost time for the announcement of the Supreme Award. And of course, all of our category award winners tonight are eligible to take out the Supreme Award, which once again is sponsored, and thank you to Orbit World Travel and Qantas.
Well, Orbit World Travel is an industry leader in this sector. Their vision is to be the travel management company of choice for all business, building partnerships, delivering effective travel and event management solutions. Qantas is one of the world's oldest and most established international airlines, first taking to the skies in 1920. It is, of course, Australia's national carrier. It's part of the One World Alliance, and Qantas flies to more than 50 cities worldwide. Both Orbit and Qantas are very proud of their association with these awards.
Let's refresh our memory of who is in the running for the Supreme Award.
In Emerging Talent, it was James Parks. For Social Impact, Carolyn Cox represented City Rail. The most effective team was Te Taho o Te Ture, the Ministry of Justice, led by Victoria McLaughlin. Leadership was taken out by Claire McCarthy at Height. The Environmental Impact Award went to City Rail and Nick Braxton. Transformation once again to Taho o Te Ture, the Ministry of Justice. So, who will it be?
City Rail Link. Well done, congratulations.
Well, City Rail have already taken out social and environmental awards tonight, but they didn't stop at the red signal. There was light at the end of their tunnel as they head up to the platform to oh God, who wrote this? To receive the Supreme... I wrote it, yes. To receive the Supreme Award. Presenting the award, Kim Walsh from Orbit World Travel and Sarah Neville from Qantas.
Now, I would say that, I guess with the City Rail Link as a project, excuse me, I don't want to put my back to you there, it's a bit different from other companies and organisations, isn't it? Because when the project opens, you guys kind of don't have a job, right? And you sort of, well, you all go, well, maybe you have a job. Oh, it's the last day tomorrow. Oh, does he know that? But with procurement being all about relationships, is that going to be a bit of a bittersweet thing when it, gets off the ground and you have to go your separate ways?
It totally is. It's been an amazing project to work on. I'm a bit stunned at this, and to to walk away seeing it done will be fantastic, but it has been incredible to work on it. It will be really bittersweet. I'm receiving this award, but it really is the whole team. It's been a huge effort from an enormous number of people to do what we've done, and we're really hoping that we all go our separate ways and do great things in other projects, and so we hope that we've moved the whole thing along, even though, yes, we cease to exist when we've successfully completed what we're trying to do.
Will you just be on trains forever?
We can actually just go round and round a little.
Do you get free tickets?
Yeah, no.
They didn't procure that very well then, did you?
Ask Auckland Transport about that.
Okay. I'm going to rewind out of that cul-de-sac real quick. All right. Hey, congratulations, team. Awesome Supreme winners. Put your hands together, not only for the team up here, but for all of the winners tonight. Well done. Well, a very, very worthy Supreme Award winner. And everybody tonight has just been amazing stories, right? The stories that you hear behind the awards are awesome. So I know that they are on the right track. So, well, like others, I've sort of resisted doing puns, except for that one. So that's it. The formal part of the evening is over. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Don't go off the rails, right? Do watch out for the opportunity to enter next year's awards. For now, from me, it's good night. From me and Paul Marie. Cheers.